Submission 2. So I'm a type of person who is very open and friendly with everyone, and I'm the icebreaker when it gets awkward with my friends. Recently, I somehow felt a little awkward with my best friend. Since the pandemic, we only could talk through texts, calls, etc. But for quite some time now, she's been ignoring my calls and texts. Even when she sees the message, she leaves me on read. I know that I shouldn't be like a possessive best friend, but it still bugged me. So I told her about this. She was like, "Oh no, don't worry, I'm here always, etc." So I thought I was overthinking. It shouldn't be awkward anymore, right? But after I told her, the awkwardness continued. Either she's silent or texts others and does other things. I've tried to get her to talk, but it goes in vain most of the time. Now I've given up. I don't talk unless it's necessary. I don't like this at all since I've never had to deal with awkward situations like this before. I don't want it to continue like this and make it awkward by bringing up the subject to her again, since I don't want to hurt her. What would you guys suggest for me to do? Is it just me overthinking?
But first, can I point out something? Harry's like a real true rapper. But do you know how I know?
How?
While he was reading, he was doing this.
Really?
He's like,
No, I didn't. So I thought I was overthinking. It shouldn't be awkward anymore, right?
yo, you're like flowing. Like,
Oh,
you're like,
damn.
Really? Like this?
yo, he's a true
Shoot.
rapper. Like, he's been doing this for so long. He's like
But
reading
after
the
I told
message.
you.
He's like,
Alright,
anyways,
shoot.
that's
I think
awkward.
You should confront her for sure.
Yeah, but she's gonna be like, oh no, don't worry, I'm here. I'm always.
You're not.
Why you, look at you when you say that. Damn.
You're not.
That's why Ashley doesn't
obviously.
have a lot of friends, guys. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I don't think she's overthinking though, right?
Depends on what kind of person that friend is. If that person's
Yeah.
just not that expressive,
Like maybe they're just realizing it because it's only through like text and stuff now, but maybe they've kind of always been like this in person too.
When it comes to misunderstanding because of text,
Mm.
you always have to give them a second chance. Sometimes the emotions are not conveyed properly through
Mhm.
text.
Sure.
People think that
'Cause-
like the other person is like ignoring
Yeah.
you or like being kind of rude, but it's because there's no emotion, there's no sound to it.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like
So you read it how like you think pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
you guys know the emoji with the crying face going like with the crying?
Yeah.
I get confused if it's supposed to be funny or if they're like actually sad about it or if it's like a joking sad and then it's supposed to be funny. When it's
it can
funny
be used
too.
for both. Yeah.
Yeah, so I get confused. So it's something like very serious and then they use that. And I'm like, is it a joke?
like
Why are you looking at me
what do you mean?
weird?
Like, give us an example.
Ashley's judging Junie so hard this episode.
Can't be like this whole show. I can't give it like a really good example, but let's say like I'm super hungry right now, and they use that emoji. It seems like that person is just jokingly saying they're super hungry right now, or they're like they've been starving for a few days. No, I'm just saying as an
Junie, I think you're
example.
overthinking, bro. Yo, come on, bro.
I'm
That's
so
That's a
I'm so
horrible
confused.
I'm so
example.
confused
Okay,
either.
okay. I have an example. It's like, let's say you did something but, like you're kind of like 찔렸어, but then the other person didn't really care about it, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then they texted you, "What are you doing?"
Mm.
But in your head, since you're like 찔렸어, like you could think their tone is like, "What the f- are you doing?" It
Yeah,
could be
but
like
it's
that.
usually
But then
like,
they were
"What's up?"
genuinely just asking like, "Oh, what are you doing?"
Right.
Because you have something to hide.
Yeah.
You kind of assume the other person's tone.
Could've went
This
that.
is kind of what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, man.
No, it's not.
No, it was.
Okay.
Emoji.
They're like, I'm here right now.
Like, yeah, but me, it's just very
I'm here.
Yeah.
straight.
Like three
so-
exclamation marks
yeah.
instead of like, and it's like compared to one exclamation mark, it's totally different. I feel like. No? What?
I didn't know you were this
Let's say,
sensitive, Junie.
Am I that
I was just
sensitive?
looking at Ashley the whole time Junie's talking.
You're-
Like, let's say,
I didn't
look
know
at
you're-
this, look at this. And this person says, sounds good with 3 exclamation marks, and then there's 1 exclamation mark. Which one sounds a little more colder?
Junie, I think you need to shut up now.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.